Hey, Mama Bear. Welcome to the Breastfeeding with Confidence podcast. Do you dream of bonding with your baby through exclusive breastfeeding, but worry about breastfeeding pain or low milk supply? Maybe you're struggling with breastfeeding and no one seems to have any answers. I'm Jaimie, doula, international board certified lactation consultant, and mom of 5, and I have been where you are. After working through painful latches, milk supply worries, and postpartum depression, and supporting countless mothers through their breastfeeding journeys for over 8 years, I'm here to tell you breastfeeding doesn't have to be perfect to be positive. Each week, I'll share breastfeeding tips to help you prevent and overcome unexpected breastfeeding challenges so you can actually enjoy bonding with your baby. If you are ready to shut out the toxic whispers of the world, embrace your God-given intuition, and release your inner fierce mama bear, grab some coffee or your favorite herbal tea, and let's dive in. Welcome back to the Breastfeeding with Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Jaimie, an international board certified lactation consultant and mama of 5. And today we are talking about something I know is always all over Instagram and TikTok as a must-have for the hospital bag for breastfeeding to protect your nipples, and that is Silverettes. So today we're going to answer, should you pack them in your hospital bag? Are they worth all the hype? Or are they just another expensive new things moms are told they have to have? Let's break it down. Okay, so if you are not familiar with Silverettes, they are these little silver nipple covers. They kind of look like little discs, kind of like a quarter, honestly, with like a little cutout, like so that it's like the shape of a nipple-ish. And they are marketed to breastfeeding moms, and the idea is that the silver has natural antimicrobial and healing properties. You wear them in your bra. They're supposed to help prevent cracks, soothe soreness, and speed up nipple healing. That all sounds great. I am a huge fan of using silver for healing. Like, I use colloidal silver all the time. The Silverettes can be useful in some cases, but here's my hot take. Most of y'all don't actually need Silverettes, especially not in your hospital bag. Let me lay out why. All right, so reason number 1 is a lot of moms actually end up getting knockoffs by accident, and they're not even real silver. So they look the same, they're cheaper. It's like, oh yeah, I'll get that. But then they don't even actually have the same healing properties. So you buy them, literally, it's fake. It's nothing. You are doing nothing. And so if you are going to get them, you need to make sure you're getting the real deal, and they're not cheap. So that brings me to a second thing that's not all that important, but worth mentioning is they're expensive and they're small, which means it's really easy to lose them, especially if you're traveling out and about. They can kind of be a pain in the rear. And so a lot of times they just really are not worth the cost if you're somebody who loses things easily. Like, easy to lose and expensive is not a great combination in my life. However, I mean, if you're more organized than I am, then more power to you. But here's the biggest problem that I see with Silverettes is that I see them being overused all the time. I see moms wearing them around the clock, thinking they're doing their nipples a favor. And here's the thing. If your skin is constantly being kept moist, now, moist wound healing is good. But if it's constantly being kept moist, we have to have a balance. And that constant moistness can actually cause something called maceration. And maceration is when skin actually breaks down from being too wet for too long. So think about when you're in the bathtub for too long and your skin gets all soft and wrinkly. That softer skin is more fragile and more prone to damage. So overusing Silverettes can actually delay healing and make things worse. So what do you do if Silverettes are not the way to go, but you want to make sure that you are preventing your nipples from being in pain and being cracked and bleeding? All right, well, number 1, if you've been here for a minute, you know what I'm going to say. The most important thing you can do is make sure you've got a good latch from the start. No product in the world can replace that. If you are dealing with soreness, though, and you're working on fixing latching issues but need something else, then I recommend using Mother Love Nipple Cream. It is my favorite go-to. This is not being sponsored by them. It is literally my favorite go-to for nipple healing. Mother Love Nipple Cream is my favorite. Or you can use another natural healing salve or balm that has herbal infusions, but that Mother Love is some good stuff, y'all. Breast milk itself has antimicrobial and healing properties, so you could just let breast milk air dry on your nipples. That is shown to help. Hydrogel pads for short-term relief, if you're really sore, can also help as well. But again, we want to make sure that we are not leaving them on long-term because we can cause that maceration again. So these are some more affordable and slightly, I don't want to say necessarily more effective, but they're effective and more affordable than Silverettes. At the end of the day, if you want to bring Silverettes with you to the hospital, that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not a bad thing to have if you're careful with them and using them correctly. But I really, really, really want you to be focused on making sure that you are working with your baby to support a good latch, that you are spotting red flags early, and that you are fixing latching issues early, and that we only need to use simple healing methods. We don't need to use these crazy expensive little gadgets, okay? So if you want to be prepared for nipple pain and you don't just want to have a response, but you want to be proactive, you are the person I created the Breastfeeding Resource Library for. You don't need to feel like you have to rely on gadgets and gimmicks to succeed at breastfeeding, all right? Inside the Breastfeeding Resource Library, you will find the tools and guides and workshops that prepare you for real-life breastfeeding challenges and help you feel confident from day one. So before you run out and buy all of the gadgets for your hospital bag, make sure you have the right knowledge and support first. You can check it out at littlebearlactation.com/library and use code podcast50 to save today. Thanks for tuning in, Mama, and I'll see you in the next episode.
All right, Mama Bear, that is a wrap for today. If this episode helped you feel a little more confident or a little more prepared for breastfeeding, can I ask you a quick favor? Go ahead and leave me a review. It helps other moms find this podcast and join us in this amazing community of fierce and confident Mama Bears. And hey, if you know a friend who could use some encouragement or real talk about pregnancy, breastfeeding, and all things motherhood, share this episode with her. You've got this, Mama Bear. Trust your instincts, stay fierce, and I'll catch you in the next episode.